Hello everybody, yes we're back, it's freezing cold, it's -9 JP. My name's Ryan Clifford, join me JP once again. Celtic continue the momentum into the break against Ross County. Well JP, where do we start? -9, I'm freezing, I've got a cup of tea, I'm nice and warm mate.
Aye, and you've got a hoodie on, I know, which is good for you. I've had to, because of the fact that it's -9, the missus decided to whack your heating up through there, so I'm sitting here in a pair of shorts and dressed like I was ready to go to Benidorm.
Well, I think Benidorm would be ideal, mate, but we're -9 in Glasgow, can't whack it, but obviously, mate, good result. Name of the battle on the serious stuff, good result, mate. We keep saying the VR, we don't really want to talk about it. We might touch on obviously the penalty, but apart from that, we want to move on for it. It's getting talked about too much. I know we want to talk about it because we know we need to hand things out, mate, but we don't want to take up podcasts and chats too much because it is fucking relentless now. Like you say, obviously the fans' thoughts so far this season. Anybody who's on the live stream, please comment if you can, and we'll give our thoughts as well. But I think JP obviously Sydney break as well. Speak about that, and then obviously the players going to the World Cup and getting a wee break as well. But obviously, mate, Ross County, not the best of performances I would say, Faze, but that's us not really played well a lot of games this year, but we're still winning games. We're still playing parts of the game with a lot of good football. But I just thought that, again, there's instances in the game, mate, that's it's out of full control. As fans, you can only comment on what you see, and obviously the decisions against the referee, for me, JP, I thought it was one of the worst performances I've seen of the referee in my lifetime as a Celtic fan in Scottish football. I'm not going to say anything about anything about the C word. That I'll just say I just thought it was absolute pure incompetence. Some it was absolute born ridiculous. Even Ange was waiting at half time for the referee to come down. For me, that tells me to know, because Ange isn't very, when it comes to referees, he's very solidified, he's calm, he's relaxed, doesn't bother with it. But the last few weeks, like he sees, he's getting even more annoying right now. But you don't want to tarnish that with the result, because the result's a very good 3 points against, which we did say probably would happen. They would park the bus a wee bit and come out and try and get a goal for a counter-attack, which obviously go for the penalty. But overall, mate, performance-wise, I would say it wasn't great, but there was some good football. The goal for Haskabanovic, and obviously the goal as well, the first goal, brilliant football. And again, mate, 3 points, and it keeps us top of the table.
Well, that's it, mate. That's the positive part of it. There is a negative side to it all as well, which obviously we'll go and touch on. I thought we were up against a team who more or less set up so that they never get leathered. They came, and I think obviously they took half as in the cup up there. Then the second time we went up there and played them no long after that. Again, there were 2 games I thought they were very open. Mm-hmm. And I mean them as in Ross County. But on Saturday they weren't very open. They never caused us any problems. That's the thing as well. They were more or less camped in their own half most of the game. We found it tough, I thought, at the beginning to kind of play through it. We were trying to rush things. I thought we didn't have enough composure in the early stages of the game. But as the game went on and we started to find a bit of tempo, some of our passes were really good. There was a couple of good ones in the first half where we played a few intricate passes, and then I think it was Turnbull that set Kyogo through. And again, I thought he rushed his shot. I thought he could have took his time. I think he had enough time to read his paper and have a coffee and pick his spot. But I felt he just, he ran through and he rushed it. And then obviously, their goalie pulled off a few good saves as well. But you're going to find that with teams, Ryan. I think the teams are they're not cottoning on to how we're playing, but they're cottoning on to the way we play in terms of the speed and the tempo and everything else. So they're kind of trying to combat it with making themselves so compact that it's, if merely so they don't get a doing. The teams aren't like to get a doing in the main office. Individually, we'll touch on certain players' performances, but I thought we'd done well enough to we deserve the 3 points, that's for sure. Nobody's going to tell me otherwise. And then obviously they get the penalty. You talked about the ref, you mentioned him earlier. I've never seen that ref before, so I don't even know if he's... I can't even remember if he's refereed a Celtic game before, but he kind of, in certain moments in the game, he certainly looked well at his depth. I don't know where he's came from, like what division he was just refereeing in, or no, I certainly don't think I'm in a hurry to get him back to referee one of our games, especially just his all-round decision making was poor. His linesmen were getting things and he was getting something else, and then vice versa. Excuse me. That was a mixture between a yawn and a cough there, but the cough actually didn't come out there. But the yawn did. It's been a bit of a long day today. Came from anywhere, that one came from my toes there, man. So don't worry about it, I'm not boring you. You're not boring me or anything, But no, in terms of the ref, mate, I thought the ref was shambolic at things. And then obviously Matt O'Reilly's penalty. I don't know what he's supposed to do in terms of where his hand's meant to go. And it kind of hits his arm here, sort of on his elbow. So, again, and even watching it back, I'm still not 100% sure that that's even in the box. So, no, as I say, I'm obviously happy with, like I say, it's on the banner. We've took the winning momentum into the break. And like I say, it's kind of winning breeds confidence. It doesn't matter when you do it, whether it be 2-1, 5-0, 10-0. Sometimes winning the games that are 2-1, especially when you need to come from behind, Brian, sometimes they're better than actually going and winning. Going and winning 5-6-0. I prefer the games where you have to show a bit of grit. Because it was the same in the Motherwell game midweek last week. That was a 2-1 as well. And obviously, I wasn't nervy, as what some would like to believe. But obviously, then they get the goal late on in the game, and you're wondering if there's going to be another chance. But Celtic seem to be doing the right thing, mate.
A few comments through YouTube. James Johnson, all right, mate. Hail, boys. Hail, mate. Sean White, hail, up the buddies. Up the buddies, Sean, that's right, mate.
I hope he's not meaning St Mirren.
He's a big St Mirren fan, isn't he? No, cheers, Sean. No, but I agree, JP. Again, there's a few things I'd like to say, but I'm not going to mention it on a platform or on a podcast because it's just I don't want to seem bitter. I don't want to seem against referees and all this, but it's getting harder and harder and harder now to say what you think, because it's just, I'm all for people make mistakes. Obviously, I'm an amazing football player. That's why I'm a fan now. That's why I didn't play at the highest level. That's your opinion, but when you see referees making silly decisions that in a football sense, it's just never, like, first topic, obviously, JP, is the penalty, right? But I know we don't want to spend too much on it, but for me...
Well, we're not spending 40 minutes on it, that's for sure, mate.
For me, I've looked at it so many times, and I'm like you, I can't tell if that's actually in the box. It looks like it's just happened before you get into the box. The way the rules are for me, it's only a kind of moment for the rest of the world football, in terms of Scottish football. If it's just the Scottish, if this is just gone by the Scottish rules, because it seems to be every week they're changing what they're getting fibbles for. If we're sticking to the rules, technically to the rule book, it's probably a penalty, right? The way they're changing the rules, but see, in terms of football and the way football used to be and the way football should be, Matt O'Reilly's trying to challenge for the ball. You can't run and tackle a ball with your hands at the side and go, oh, it's going to hit my horn, I can't tackle him. You can't do that. You've got to go But your horns forward to try and chase the ball. You're running for the ball to try and block it or chase it. What else is a defender or a midfielder or anybody meant to do in the park? You can't do nothing about that. The ball's come up and hit his horn. So is every home ball now going to be a free kick or a penalty or a foul outside the box or in the box, whatever it is? Is that the way football's going to be now? As soon as it hits your horn now, it's a foul. Because the way I see football, JP, I know I've not played in 5 years, whatever, but when I did play football and the way I think football, if there's intent, like you put your horn out or you've stopped it or you've blocked it, then it's a foul. But if you've just went, like for talking that one in the weekend, the guy's got a shot at hit, right? Just say a guy's got a shot at hit outside the box and you've turned your back to block it. Like you've turned your face, so you're not hitting your face, but you've blocked it and it hits your horn. What else you might do about that? You're turning away to block it. You're not putting your horns out to block it. You're not running towards the ball with your horn. You've just turned your back to block it. But if that hits your horn now, it's a penalty. I can't.
Apparently they've changed the rule, Ryan, for the ball hit James Forrest in the hand. So apparently now every hunting ball in the box now is a penalty. But it just seems to be fair end. And that, by the way, that itself in isolation was absolutely, talk about incompetence. That's at the highest level, that. But see, if that's the case and they've changed that rule to suit, obviously, and move the goalposts for that day, it just feels like now we're getting shot on every time, at any chance whatsoever. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed yourself, mate, see the speed that it done things, especially when it was if it was a foul against us or the decision against it. Did you see the speed that?
I
hadn't even finished saying VAR's checking for possible penalty, and then literally a second later it says completed.
That was as quick as it's been.
I'm like, well, hold on, like that's got to be the fastest VAR's operated for VAR started in any league.
This is
the thing I know, Ryan, what's annoying me as well is they're banging on about this as if it's teething problems with the ref, and other fans are saying, oh, we're having issues. We shouldn't be having issues, mate. This isn't a new technology. No. All this is just the morons that's operating it. Like I says at the beginning, mate, when this get voted in this league, wait till you see us. I told you so. I says, you're more or less just kind of moron, better technology to show yourself as an even bigger moron. And they've no, by the way, they haven't fucking disappointed me yet. Because that's exactly what I've done. And it needs to change quickly. Otherwise, it's going to know that what's happening now is the technology is showing how it's now starting to look.
Mm-hmm.
One or two, you get away with, you can hide that, right? But see, when it's every game now, eventually something's going to have to change, because now it's going to be a case of, right, but then what I don't want either, Ryan, is our fans and our parts of our club going, well, we're being victimised here. We're becoming victims of either very poor judgment by the referees or something else. And what that something else may be, all the fans that are listening in now, and other fans that might see this later on, I'll let them make up their own minds as to what I'm talking about. But like I says, I don't really want to say too much on it, but in my opinion, that decision against Matt O'Reilly at the weekend was extremely harsh.
But it's not just that, JP. It's not just that as well. The first few minutes of the game, Matt O'Reilly puts the ball through to Kyogo and he gives a mystery foul that there was nothing.
That one the goalie picked the ball up again?
No, this was at the start. This is a few minutes into the game. Matt O'Reilly put the ball through.
There was one the goalie get the pass back.
Aye,
and he drops the ball and he picks it up again.
Aye, well, there's a wee comment for the Facebook for Francis. Referee was a bellend. Boys, what was the goalie dropping the ball and rolling it forward to then pick up when Kyogo moved into challenge? There's always a free kick to Ross County. What the fuck? Where did it all come from? Francis, I think it's a rule that they've made up. Just like JP says, it's ridiculous now. That's simple basics for a referee should know the rules. I just don't know where they're pulling it for Francis. I think JP mentioned it there before you commented, mate. Or female, if it's a female, sorry. Just the name Francis. I just don't know. But the thing for me, JP, was before Francis says that about in the first few minutes where Morelli plays the ball through Kyogo, he's through and goal, and he pulls it back for absolutely nothing. I've looked at it again. There's no a foul, there's no an offside, there's no a horn ball, there's no an interfering with play. There's absolutely nothing for him to pull that back and stop the play. And again, it's not been mentioned in the just because we've won the game, people think you're not going to mention these things. No, you still need to mention these things because it doesn't get ironed out. How isn't anybody mentioned that? And like you says about fans are realising stuff now because obviously VAR's even some pundits now are realising that's never a penalty, that's never a free kick. But guys like Michael Stewart and even Richard Foster the weekend was actually quite good in sports. He was saying a few things. There's people are noticing things now. Like you says, mate, you're not wanting to spend all the talking about it, but these are wee things that I don't know where they got that from, mate. And then the other decision in the game that I thought was very contentious. It probably wasn't a penalty, but see the way they're trying to go. The one with Alsing gets pushed with his two horns, pushed him in the back. Listen, it's a powder puff push, right? But you still push them off balance. Mm-hmm. If you want to go about things the way they are going about, then it's a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
He's like you say, he's no gave the Forest one. He's no gave that against James Forest. They've even went to check the. I can't remember if they even checked the Alsing push. They might have, but it was ridiculous. He's pushing with two horns. Aye, let's be fair, right? It was powder puff, and it probably wasn't a penalty. But see the way they're doing things, it's a penalty. You can't give one thing in one push in another game and not get a home ball this game and a home
I know,
ball
but apparently, see the VAR criteria. I heard this the other night, and I don't know if this is 100%. Maybe some of the listeners could maybe correct me. They're only looking for.
It's obvious.
They're only looking for handballs, and there's a certain criteria. They can't check everything, right? Do you know what I mean? Because the game would just have to stop. Because it takes them a lot of time to get through what they're trying to get through. We comment for YouTube here, mate.
We've heard that one, Alexander, yeah. Apparently it's a free transfer, JP, in it, supposedly.
Yeah.
But we've not heard anything in terms of if it's happening or what. We just know that there's big rumours that it's going to occur. But I think we'll probably hear in the next few weeks whether or no, well, maybe in the next few days, whether it's Sydney, we don't know if it's going to be popping up, JP. But that's a interesting comment here because that's not really been mentioned at all. So I'll say I'll just keep it quiet until it pops up. We don't know. We've not heard anything. But again, he's a decent signing, I think. He's been doing okay over in Japan. Sorry.
I think he's 22 as well, isn't he?
Aye, and he's played with Ange as well. I think Ange has played with him as a manager, so Ange knows him. So that could be an interesting one to look out for in the next few days or few weeks.
Aye, definitely, mate. He's a left-footed centre-back as well. And I reckon if he's even half decent, then it gives the team a lot better balance down that side as well. Obviously, we're hearing he's quite aggressive. He's good in the air and he can score goals. So, it'd be interesting to see what materialises. But the link itself just came out of way out of left field. It was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? It was just sort of right out of nothing. And it was a guy from Japan that kind of let the cat out of the bag. But then obviously we've heard the main man himself, Dan Olivich, he was on another podcast. And he more or less, not so many terms, but he more or less confirmed he reckons the deal's going to go through. So that is going to be interesting to keep an eye on. And Ange let us believe last week, going with his presser, that his January window's a bit funny. So actually, when he put it past it, it's a deal that probably would get through because Ange he showed obviously well in the past that he's capable of bringing guys in for the Japanese league because we've got 4 of them already. So, but just another comment there for YouTube. It's not just in our games. These refs make it up as they go when it suits. They don't no, the rules, and the club needs to call out the SFA.
See, I agree with you, James. Again, I know people might be pinpointing that we're talking about Celtic. I'm talking about in general, JP. We've seen Scottish football. I think it was last year the referee made I think it's Bobby Madden. Was it Aberdeen and St Mirren, I'm sure. He made, maybe St Mirren, but it was definitely Aberdeen involved in the game. No, sorry, Aberdeen United, sorry. And he made stupid decisions, and it's just that it's definitely, I totally understand some human error, but some it's just ridiculous. Like some, it's not, this isn't just Celtic games, it's Rangers games, Aberdeen games, St Mirren, it's all down the country.
No, well, that's it as well, Ryan. There was 4 minutes wasted at Tynecastle on the Livy game. I don't know if you've seen it. It was a boy Cochrane's challenge on Nicky Devlin.
Aye.
And he left the ground. And in my opinion, it was a red card all day long. And they wasted just under 4 minutes going to VAR with it to then determine it was a throw-in.
Here's the thing as well, at the weekend, right?
Mental.
It was actually, I got a phone call from my mate the other day. Actually, he was wanting me to, I won't say his name, it's nothing bad anyway, but he just asked how to watch the games back. I went, unless you can see it TV or it, I don't think you can watch it back on YouTube, whatever. But because he's like, I'm sure Ross County made subs. Like, apparently JP knew for what I'm believe to leave. I might be Ryan, might be help me out here, or anybody who's listening can help me out. It might not be Scotland, right? But I definitely know down south, etc. There's a certain window where you can make subs because there's 5 subs. Is that not true?
I've heard about this, aye.
Right, so
I wasn't totally aware of it, and then somebody mentioned it to me.
So I don't know if it's as for Scotland, right? But he was wanting to find out exactly why, because he says that Ross County made their subs like, rapidly. It was like 1, 2, 3, and you might only maybe make 3 in one day, 2 in the next one day, right? And he was wanting to question this. He went, if that is the case, the referee's not got a clue what he's doing then. But I don't know. I can't. It's only now he's told me this. I'm thinking, when I'm looking back at the game, I'm thinking, he might be right here. But I don't know if he's...
I was kidding on. I made a joke at the weekend. I've obviously been at the game. And I made a joke saying that I thought they brought in about 7 players.
Just on this comment, sorry. Sean, 5 subs allowed, 3 windows. I thought that, Sean. It was actually somebody you know, or Sean, it's actually phoned me. This is what I'm saying, that
this is like an episode of EastEnders here. Like you want having a wee conversation with Sean through the comments.
But it is true. See if that's the case, that this is... I will need to do my research before I totally comment on it. It was just what he put to me. I thought, I definitely knew down south abroad, I think you need to do a window. There's a window within 3 windows, 5 subs and 3 windows. But I wasn't sure if it was implemented in Scotland. But it must be if it's 5 subs. So he thought that Ross County made subs, like a sub. It was like 5 subs within a space of time. He said a window.
I know what the guy's meaning, but I think it just sort of felt like that. Just for the way the game was going.
I just thought I'd put that out there just in case the ref had make a mistake.
No. I know what you mean, but by the way, listen, I never paid attention either, like deeply, so I wouldn't actually put it past. I've seen some of the decision making with VAR, so I wouldn't put it past their officials.
But I do agree with James JP, that it's not just our games, it's all round. Again, we probably could do a podcast on it, try how you help refs.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the Hearts equaliser the other day came for a foul on Nibley. It was a foul for the boy Civic on Nibley. And then after that, there's 2 passages of play that the game should have been stopped for. One was a foul on Nibley, right? He had 2 bites up and Big Civic, he hits him, and then he tries to hit him again, and he knocks Big Nibley half balance. It's not a penalty. I wouldn't say it was a penalty, but it was in the box. But it's definitely a foul. It's an attempted foul before he even gets to the box. And then after that, Ryan, there's a handball with Alan Forrest to control the ball, and he's running passage. So there's 2 incidents there right away that Martindale's probably agreed with now, because you know he wants the play stopped and brought back. Obviously, it was a decent finish for the boy Gianelli, but as you said, just as you mentioned, it's not just happening in our games. It's happening all here. The one and all with the Aberdeen and Hibs game. Aberdeen, I think they won 4. Was it 4-0 or 4-1? And that's what do you call it? The Aberdeen were given a penalty in that game. They ended up going on to miss the penalty. but they were good the penalty, and that was a shambles. That was never a penalty in a month of Sundays. And that's what I'm saying, it's the level of officiating. And then obviously you look at them across the waters penalty at the weekend or not. You've got serious doubts on that as well, because he jumps before the lad Fraser's even anywhere near him.
See, as soon as it happened, JP, I was like, obviously
he done the right thing though with booking him, first of all. It should have been a booking for simulation.
I'm just going to put it, I watched it again, then yours. But as soon as it happened, I thought, he's dived. See, JP, you play football, right? See when you've been hit, you don't fall down like that. You fall forward. He's fallen, he's already ready to go down. And some players, his legs out, but then he's pulled his legs back, like, well, hey, right, pal. And the referee... It was
like he was auditioning with a new tackle bearing in that police academy movie, wasn't it?
Aye. But the referee is went and booked Kent. So take away VAR, that referee in his mind is saying that's never a penalty.
Aye, it was never going to give a penalty.
So this is where VAR, in a sense, is doing the referee's job. The referee's point blank saying, you've dived, that's not a penalty, let's go on with the game. Oh, wait, VAR, no, do you know what, your yellow card's away, it's a penalty. So
obviously, I mean, overall, it didn't help him in terms of the result-wise or anything, but it could have done if that game was nothing each, just say.
That's what I mean, aye. That could be games where, similar to James Forrest, that could have been the last 5 minutes of a game to win the league title. That's why I'm saying these things need to be right, because I'm being honest, IP, I think we're lucky we're 9 points ahead of now, because these things are going to start popping up more now. Not just for us, for other teams, but obviously I'm talking about us. That game at the weekend there, right? For us, I thought the referee was shocking. I thought he tied everything. I'm not going to lie. People can say I'm out of order. I thought he tied everything for us not to win the game. There was free kicks. And I think, see when these teams, when the referees are stopping the game for VAR and fouls, the VAR for me is giving these other teams a break. It's giving them 3-4 minutes to recoup, recharge, get tactics or whatever, make a sub, whatever it is. Because us at Celtic Park, you're normally at full flow. You're full flowing. And when you get a VAR stoppage, you're wasting away for 2 or 3 minutes. You're maybe cooling down. You're stiff. People might think that's a lot of shit. I don't think it is. I think these teams are getting a wee tiny bit of advantage for it. Because it's stop, start. But, and the last bit about the rest, mate, I do believe that I don't think Celtic will call it out in terms of publicly. I think they might do it behind the scenes. I know they've done a few things behind the scenes for the Motherwell stuff.
No, but I think that this is a perfect time to call it out, because see if we were going through a bad spell now, we were dropping points every week or week in, week out, and we started people are going to go like that, well, you're just making excuses.
No,
but we're winning. We know we're winning. So that's the thing as well, we're winning. So if I agree, Sean, I just said that. If we're winning, do you know what I mean? So it's like, call it out the now while we're still winning, because it doesn't take away from the fact that, like you say yourself, Ryan, it's upsetting. It's as if they're trying to upset your rhythm. That's a few games now, mate. You could maybe get away with it going, right, okay, maybe just seeing what in that game, fair enough. And you could get away with it once or twice. But see when it's happening 3, I mean, there's at least 5 incidents now, right, for VAR come in. And this is just with us. I don't know about other teams, because I don't watch the other teams unless they're obviously playing us regular enough. But there's 5 really key incidents that you could go back and analyse and go, right, that's harsh. That was harsh. So was that. So, and that's not me just saying that with tinted specs on, mate. That's the evidence is there. You can't cheat technology, mate.
No.
But yet, you've got these guys sitting in a big centre at the other side of the city, watching 2 teams playing in Edinburgh, and they're making decisions. It's like I say, I'm going to say it, and it might seem harsh, but I don't think some of them are up to the job. I don't think they're qualified enough to do the job they're doing. How can I say that? Because of what I'm seeing in terms of the VAR. Because of the VAR results. They must be getting monitored and scored on what they're doing. And it's like everybody else, mate, we're all shite at our job. There's a disciplinary procedure you need to get through in order to either try and improve you or they just get rid of you. And if you don't meet the criteria, then you're out the door. So, in my opinion, mate, that, calling it out while we're winning is probably the best way to go about it. But as Anne said, I know, it's probably done us more harm than good, because the more he's said on it, the more that seems to fucking go against us.
Aye.
I mean, the only time VAR's really went in our favour was at Livingston. And even that, we missed the penalty.
I
know, but that's the only time VAR's really went against us.
Aye.
So, that's the last thing, personally, I want to say on the VAR, etc.
Just go to some of the comments, mate, and then we'll move into the... James, I thought Cobby had promised Celtic a friendly as part of a deal for a tournament next year. We've not heard about I know Dan did say that he'd be surprised, James, that when I spoke to Dan, he says that they'd be surprised if the Japanese clubs didn't actually have something in a contract about a tournament or a match, because it'd be silly in terms of money and financial and gain, etc. So it's the first I've heard of that personally, mate. Another YouTube one as well, mate. Alexander, if Celtic are still 9 points clear and they play Rangers, and if Celtic win at Ibrox and go 12 points clear, I think the league will be over. I'm being honest with you, Alexander, you're probably right. I don't know what JP thinks, but I don't want to come out the new in November, because November league titles number one. We've seen it a long time ago when Yelovich, maybe seen him. Aye, Yelovich came out to say the league was Yelovich. I think they were 12 or 13. Jellyfish. They were 12 or 13 points clear, something roughly. And they were saying the league's finished, we'll never lose it, and Celtic won the league title that year. So I'm never going to come out and say the league's over. But unless Rangers, in my opinion, if Rangers want any chance to call the league back, they need to sack the manager and they need to spend big bucks in January, because Celtic are going to let up. Celtic are just starting now. We've been I don't want to say under par. We've just been no ourselves a few games this year, and we've still won games. Celtic have lost one game out of 47, 46 games. So what makes people think in Scotland they're going to lose 4 games within the space of 3 to 4 months without any other teams ranking points?
It's probably best you don't make any predictions anyway, mate, because your predictions don't seem to go. I remember one time you said we Oxo when they make your grade, man, and
no, he's actually.
You look as if you've got that humble pie all area, mate. It's like your beard and everything there, man.
No, but
if anybody's wondering, by the way, if any of our listeners are new to the programme or whatever, then he's listening and wondering, who's he calling me Oxo? We Oxo's aka Greg Taylor. And why have I called him Oxo? Because he's absolutely different gravy. We had this one the other night. And the boys obviously like the way I put that. So I'm afraid we Oxo's his nickname for now on when I talk about him.
We Oxo. But mate, I don't know what you think, but Alexander says that, mate, but I think I'm never going to commit to the league's one until it's basically just a bit mathematical impossible. But I think it's going to take a massive smile for Rangers to challenge us, because we will improve, we will get better. Rangers like Chris, as much as I don't really like him in terms of his football opinions. I don't know him personally. Chris Boyd's a guy, so I can't call him as a guy. But in terms of punditry, he's not the best. But he was right at the weekend. He basically said the league's finished. Gilles got to go. He can't say anything back, and that's him. Let's be fair. We all know he's a Rangers man, and every time they get beat, he's doing the dumps. For him to say that, he knows they're in a bit of a slump.
Chris is still back 4 months ago. This guy was a messiah.
I know.
He was a messiah.
But it's. I think Rangers fans are starting to realise that. Again, listen, we all know that run was phenomenal. Right, people can say, "Ryan, don't talk about it." No, but it was right. But it's not. That wasn't his team. This is starting to be his team now. He's had 2 windies now to start building his team, and they're obviously not playing for him. And you can see that for me.
Yep. There's identity, Ryan.
No, but JP, we spoke about it. People think because we're Celtic fans that we're biased. And listen, I've watched them enough now to say even the fans are realising now they've no identity. They're realising that Morelos is not as good as the first 40. He's unprofessional. Taverniers, listen, we told you all this to start the season. We told you this last season. We've told you it for years. Celtic have had one One bad season out of how many? One bad season, they would have won nothing. Every other season.
Out of the last 12 years, we've had one bad season.
See, out the last 20 years, we've probably had maybe 5 bad seasons, 4 bad seasons, if that. Celtic have got a winning machine and a well-oiled machine. The financial tells you we're a well-oiled machine. We've got more money than every club in Scotland. We're always going to have that because obviously we've got a bigger stadium, etc. But on Alexander's point, mate, what's your opinion on that? For me, I think it's going to be very, very hard for anybody to turn that around against us because I think we're just going to get better.
Well, what I will say, Alexander, it's going to be significantly tough now. Because we're 9 points clear just now. We're about 16, 17 goals ahead of them as well. And I've not even started dishing out advent calendars yet. So, you know, we're in the right good place. They seem to be struggling at every turn now. When I'm saying struggling, I mean struggling. You're playing a guy that's miles overweight, miles off the pace. And that's just Roy Mackay trying to get to training in the morning. I'm talking about Morelos. That's a shambles. That, to me, it's very disrespectful to his club, the fans, everything all in about him. Do you think it's going to, should Rangers decide to move him on, they probably would need to do that now.
I've seen the JIP, it's going to cost about £4 million apparently.
4 million?
To let them all go.
We spent that on O'Reilly, Hatate and Haskabanovic, mate. Just like that sink in for a wee minute.
Crazy,
that's what we paid for Haskabanovic, Matt O'Reilly and Rio Hatate. You could probably fling in, I don't know, Joe Hart in there, I know. Mm-hmm. But listen, James Tavernier, I don't know what's went wrong at the Big Goose because James Tavernier says they're a club known for trophies and everything. They want to hear laughing now. But little did we know, James Tavernier failed his drug test about an hour later. And he's been high on smelling Bonner Barisic socks. So
Big Bobby Boucher.
Big Bobby Boucher, the water boy. He's the only guy I know to sit down midway through a game and do a shite.
I know just the ones. Just the ones.
And that's what, do you know what? Everybody thought that was Glass at Ibrox in the second, the 2-1 game. Second time we beat him. That wasn't Glass, that was a big jobby that Bernard left in the first off. Because he can't get out of 18-yard box. Because he starts feeling unwell, mate. Blood starts drawing out his nose and bits of his arse start flowing off that he didn't know was there. Because his automatic fear kicks in. So, as I say, Big Bobby Boucher, he only knows the 1 million that's back away. As Callum McGregor says, he called him a... Aye, Frank. I agree with that, Frank. I agree with that. It's well said, by the way, for a guy that sits and eats cold beans. Definitely. But no, as I say, mate, to answer your question, Alexander, I think it's going to be really hard in terms of where they are and where they are as a club as a whole. Because what we're hearing also is that they are not going to have a big funds or many funds for January. So I think they're going to have to. They're maybe going to have to. I don't know. Start selling a big issue in it again to see if they can generate some funds. Maybe need to get big goals soon and a couple other boys on the paper round again, mate. Because his BMX is sitting in the garage again, mate. He's not been using that for a while, mate. And Roy Mackay just got my wee horn on her. It's a Paw Patrol call sign, mate. Know what I mean?
Frank says, touche JP, believe the jokes in me, son. I like it. Just to through some of the comments, mate, again, and then we'll.
As long as you heat the beans up, mate. As long as you heat the beans up, and then.
Well, he says his favourite.
Let us know when you've done it.
Says his favourite players, Cal Heinz Beans. At the World Cup.
He was at the World Cup, wasn't
he? Few more comments, mate, then we'll get back to the game. Jason. All right, Jason, how's things, mate? We will be a different animal after the break, which is frightening. I agree, mate. That's some of what Chris Boyd said. Chris Boyd did say, JP, that he believes that Rangers are never good after the break anyway. Neither we also. Rangers are never good after the break, which I keep saying to Rangers fans as well. That is not something that's not a coincidence, JP. They should understand that's them not good enough to last a season to go and fight for trophies.
Yeah.
If that happens every season.
They're a club known for trophies, mate.
He was
on the telly after the Champions League saying they're a club known for trophies.
I'll comment as well. James Robertson, yeah, mate. 4 million I've heard as well. For the 4 million, aye. That's right, mate. I've said for day one that if we win the league this year, they've got a massive rebuild. They've got about 10 players, I think, roughly out of contract.
I think the bat signal's ready to go again for Graham Murray.
Oh, he was doing Hodgson in the touchline again, wasn't he?
Yeah, but
but I do agree on that one as well. Joseph, hail, boys. Celtic will throw the league away. If Celtic get complacent, this will be a big problem with 3 points.
I agree with that, Joseph. We've actually spoken about that highly, mate. We've said that the biggest threat to Celtic is ourselves. In
my opinion, mate, I agree. The only threat to Celtic in terms of quality, in terms of challenging, it's us. If we underperform, then it gives teams obviously a bit of a chance. But can I really see us losing 3 to 4 games and other teams in my year challenge or Rangers no dropping points? Nah. I just can't see it, but I agree with Frank as well. Serial winners, we've said that again, JP. We've got a squad full of winners, guys that played at the top level. Just about every guy in every positions.
Well, I've all experienced the top level this season, Ryan, albeit it didn't work out like in my favour the way we wanted it in the campaign, but they've all played at the highest club level now.
Another one as well for Alexander, Ryan Kent, Lawton, one of the most motivated players of Scotland. His contract expires. Yeah, mate, obviously, Kent and Morelos, I did say it the other day, I said as well, as much as I don't want to talk about them, but when things pop up, I think it's good to talk about it because it needs to be heard. Morelos and Kent, they're supposedly 2 superstars. Loads of mismanagement, in my opinion, leaving the 2 guys at the end of their contract. We're going to get basically nothing for them unless they accept maybe £1 million or £2 million in January, because they're not going to get anything for the money they thought they were going to get or they assumed they were going to get. I think he's decent. Alexander on his game. He's got tricks. He's got a bit of pace. He's amongst the step overs that for me you can step over all you want, but if you're going to hit the ball into fucking Rose head, then it means fuck all. I think he has got talent. Obviously, Alexander, to get through the Liverpool youth system, you've got to have some sort of talent. But for me, I think he's overrated. You can't turn up for 15 minutes a game or two games every 10 games, etc. His stats tell you, Alexander, that he's not good enough this year for Rangers. So I agree with you. In terms of guys like Jota, people were trying to compare Jota and Kent. Yeah, that's like for me. That's like trying to compare a digestive biscuit to a XD. There's no comparison. A digestive biscuit, chocolate digestive biscuit, hands down beats it, and that's the same with Jota and Kent. It's never going to change. Jota's going to go higher and higher, and Kent's maybe going to go down to maybe the Premier League or something, probably lower top championship. But he's not going to get to Jota's levels. Knocking as well, mate. Sean the Mac, hail lads, hail mate. Hope you're okay.
Hail, Sean.
And last week comment, we're going to the game again, mate. Frank, we need to sign Ange a long-term deal. Other teams, Everton. I've heard that as well.
Frank, to be fair, we've spoken about this as well, and Ange he's definitely he's certainly no money motivated, and I think he spoke himself about it doesn't do anything for him having a long-term contract. That's not what gives him security. Security for him's all about his family. And he knows that Celtic want him, and he knows that obviously the fans love him and want him. And his words were, as long as they continue to do so, I'll be around for as long as you need me to be. That's what his words are. And I believe the guy is a wee bit old school that way. He certainly know that Brendan, who decided to do a midnight mini on us, and we turn on the telly the next day and he's running the trackside at the King Power Stadium, ready to sign for Leicester. And we were kind of left in the unknown. A lot of the players didn't know what was going on, etc. Ange's already planning transfer windows, mate, so there's no danger. He's looking to... he's not looking to move anytime soon. Definitely not. But let's kick on now. We'll get to this Sydney Cup.
Aye, obviously as well. One wee comment about it, mate, as well, mate. Obviously for the game, obviously the goals, mate. Hašabanović for me is deadly. This is him just getting fit. Fantastic goal. That's an unbelievable goal. Even the first goal, the plays Hatate. But another guy who I mentioned, I've not seen him getting any praise. Even my old man thought he played really well, and he says he's a belter. Bernabei thought it was superb.
He's been on the first off.
Aye, I think he's going to be a guy again. This is Greg Taylor's been superb, so Greg Taylor's the left back, but you alternate to him now with no qualms. I think Bernabei is going to be longer term. Obviously, Greg Taylor longer term will be a left back probably the more he's here, but Bernabei has got a lot of potential, in my opinion, to kick on as well.
Two also cubes kicking about him.
Beef and chicken. But I do think Bernabei was superb, mate. I've not seen much talk about him. He's a player that I think is under the radar as well.
Seen photos here my day. Did you see them? He's obviously his family's here.
Aye.
They're obviously visiting Scotland.
Aye, so. But aye, mate, just on individual performances of the game, I thought I'm going to call it just the three players, Hašabanović, Bernabei and Hatate. I thought they were really, really good, mate.
Yes, very much so. I thought the game sort of changed a bit in our favour in terms of tempo and the way we play when Starfelt came on as well, right? I thought when Big Jens went off, which was unfortunate because obviously you don't like to see any one of your boys going down injured. But yes, I thought Bernabei was very good. There was a couple of times he lost the ball at the weekend and he just tore after it. He just get torn in. And I see your point there, Sean, but I thought he was outstanding when he made his actual debut for us up at Ross County in the Cup when we took 4 off them. I thought he was very good that night as well. There's been 1 or 2 games where he's last Saturday was a bit of a shambles from him in terms of, he was double dunted with a penalty and then obviously he got a booking. Andrews obviously took him off because of the booking because then he's one daft tackle away, but the way these refs are, he's one daft tackle away before being sent off as well. And then obviously the Hearts game as well. I just thought kind of slightly bypassed him a wee bit. Maybe just the fact, he's not used to that culture. He's never played it. He's never played in Tynecastle. But no, he's definitely a player that he's definitely showed me some raw tool. He's very, very raw in a lot of his game as well. But he's definitely a player I think he's going to come on leaps and bounds. And I also think the best thing it's about Bernabei is the fact that what he's done to Greg Taylor. Oh, sorry, I'm going to get into trouble here. We also, because 2 or 3 levels. He's now well established, I would say, in the team now. And he's actually one of the players now that you're looking going, you're worried in case if something happens to him. I know we've got Bernabei, but you're kind of because he's he's kind of one of the big characters in that team as well. I know he doesn't look it in size or stature, but
he's a size of an Oxo Cube.
Exactly. Aye, exactly. But believe you me, when he gets that tinfoil wrapper off him, man, he can be a bit of a nippy sweetie. And I know that through the grapevine. That he's very vocal. And he loves a moan as well. I think he's one of the biggest moaners in the team as well.
He says that in that teammates, didn't he? They likes a moan, didn't he?
Aye. So he's very confident among the boys and on. Carter Vickers might be the captain, But as far as I know, when they get into that huddle and he's there, he's the one that does most of the talking. The new, obviously, Callum's done it. But no, I thought big shout out to Starfelt. I thought he was excellent when he came on as well. And then obviously the rest of them. But I thought Rio Watati's, some of his football was just unbelievable. He's really off for Haksabanovic, but for Haksabanovic to try and even, like, how did he find that gap to score?
I know.
You've got to see what he done. You've got to hit that like that, otherwise you make an ass of it. And to even get yourself positioned on a 1-2 to then curl that away from the goalkeeper was just phenomenal. Again, I thought he was very good in the game, Haksabanovic. I thought, defenders looked, especially that big fullback, he looked really scared of him. He kept running away from him, and I thought, right, you've got to get a bit of joy against him because he doesn't want to come near you. I actually thought Mattarelli was excellent as well. I thought he's actually a better tackler than I thought, right?
Yeah.
Mattarelli. I think he's been really surprising, especially in terms of his tackling. I mean, he keeps winning balls in the opposition box now. That was the one at Motherwell. He set up a goal. He nearly done it at the weekend there as well. He won one at the far side. Well, it would be in front of your seat. And he kind of tried to do the same, but the boy cut it out. But no, definitely. But as I say, it's a kind of... I'm not sure about leaving the jokes to you, mate.
We also better in defence. We Bristol better is better quicker as a better delivery. I like that one, Frank. John in the back. I love that.
We Bristol be.
We Bristol be.
I think that might stick as well, by the way. That's quite good as well. We Bristol be. Alexander Bristol be. Just seen your comment here, Sean. Obviously, from Buenos Aires to Glasgow, not much of a culture difference. Believe me, it's night and day. To play me Lannis, to come to play with Celtic is night and day. It's like coming for Green Up Morton to play for Celtic.
Barry Morton's man are worst away days.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But it's like coming for, in terms of team wise, Ryan, it's coming for the teams that's the comparison, the best way I can put it, to guys that don't come for Argentina. But it's night and day of a comparison. The games are mental well there in terms of their fans, very hostile. Don't forget, Ryan, he'd had to go to places like River Plate and Boca Juniors.
Right.
So he's been in a few. He's been in a few hostile places, but in terms of the, but the quality that he's now playing with to what he played with is probably night and day. And you heard that with Seba when you listened to his interview, right? They're probably, I'm probably out of order by saying, Green Up Morton. I use that as a scale of size and stature. But in their league, Ryan, they're probably like the Ross County.
Yeah.
In a league. They're probably not expected to do much. But no, in terms of, culture difference and everything is night and day. Glasgow's a mental place. There's nowhere else in the world like Glasgow. And all you need to do is go abroad often enough and speak to people, and they'll tell you that. The Glaswegian culture is absolutely unbelievable. And
last week commentating, we're going to Sydney Cup. It's what I want to mention as well, James. The invitation must be scary for other teams when they see who we can put in the pitch. Well, that shows you as well for the weekend when you're taking your 3 guys and you're bringing on Jota, Jackie Marcus and Napata.
That's it. That's it off the front three and you're bringing on a fresh front three.
That's the difference. That's the difference, in my opinion. Rangers can't do that. No offence to, again, he's playing with Rangers. He's played in Champions League. You've Scott right. Let's be fair, right? Scott Wright for me shouldn't have played Rangers. I know he's done well recently for Rangers, right? But if that's the standard that they've got to bring on to try and win the trophies and try and challenge us, that there's just no comparison. We've got
Scott Wright when I got a game of 5 with us, mate. We wouldn't even phone him. You'd play with 9.
He's the guy you pick with the last of the PE in it, man.
Aye, he's the guy who gets picked after all the lassies.
All the lassies.
Once you've picked all the lassies for the team as well, he's the guy you go. He's the one that you just throw the yellow bib to and say you're a floater, son.
But I only said the cup, mate. Obviously, it's going to be good for obviously the Australian fans and people that are travelling there. And some of the players obviously will get a wee break. We've actually heard that they're not really be getting many days off. It's just days off as in normal days off, like a day here and there. They'll still be training, they'll still be playing, and so it's not really a break. It's still a training camp.
Have they not got a week off now?
Who, Celtic?
I think they've got.
Aye,
have they
but
not got a week to 10 days after the 2 games? But have they not got a week? Because I'm sure Anne said something about they've got a week or so with their families.
Aye, but I think in the actual Sydney bit, they're not actually getting a break. They're still training and playing.
Oh, you mean when they go with the team?
It's not really a break.
Right,
So obviously they're getting a break for here, but they'll still be training probably a wee bit. They're still playing.
No, but I mean, I'm just meaning after the Sydney Cup, then I think then they've got a holiday, haven't they?
Aye, I think
and then they go and meet up in Portugal.
Aye, but we've heard the other side of having a well longer time in that to party. So, and that's a team that's meant to be trying to challenge after 9 points. Again, that's just me. I can't get that. I can't get that.
That just shows you where they are as a club in terms of the manager and the thoughts and everything that go through their heads.
But obviously, aye.
That's shambolic, mate. You're 9 points behind it. I could see the point if you were 19 points ahead. Then you give them a rest. 9 points behind, mate. That is unbelievable. So, like it's not like you've not got work to do.
Aye.
And they're getting up to nearly 3 weeks off already. That's wow.
2 to 3
weeks
off.
By the way, he's already unfit.
Aye.
So which state's he going to be in after a couple of Hernando's and Greg's and whatever else he can shovel in 3 weeks?
I agree with you, Sean, as well. We said at the start, there's a gulf, in my opinion. It's a golfing clash between the two teams, and I think now it's starting to show, and we're still not at fault. But obviously, your thoughts on Sydney Cup, JP. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, when we first spoke to Dan, and Dan spoke about it as well, and how they're looking forward to it is obviously the Australian people looking forward to it. We spoke to Harper as well. They're all looking forward to it. Obviously, Everton as well. I know they're not doing well, but there's still some very good players for other teams to look at as well. So it'll be a good competition for us to test against down south again. And let's be fair, I know it might all be friendly, but I'm wanting us to do them to actually say, listen, we've got a good quality a team here. We've got quality players. I think it could be a game where you can maybe put Everton in even more shit because they'll be expecting to beat us. Friendly or no, they'll be expecting to turn us there.
No, probably right. And I think, going by what I'm hearing and reading, mate, I don't think their manager's having a happy time at the now as well. In my opinion, I've had my doubts about him as a manager when he was at Derby, let alone that he's had another 2 teams since then. But no, I really do think, that they could be in trouble. Should they don't get a win against us, I think. What's up? You playing with your camera?
No, it's failure.
No, as I say, I definitely think they could be in soapy bubble. Should we turn them here? As you said, friendly or no. I don't really know. This is probably really bad. I don't really know too much about Sydney FC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what kind of team they are. I'm assuming they're no. They could surprise me, but I'm assuming they're nowhere near our level. But we're going there with quite a strong team. It's all the boys, apart from Maeda, Juranovic and Carter Vickers. I don't think there's. I think the squad's pretty much.
I think it's just Moy as well, isn't it? Apart from Rayfield.
Moy, sorry, Aaron Moy. I forgot Aaron Moy. I think the rest of the squad's as is. So, and Andrew probably want to do this cup. He'll want to win it because it's his. I mean, they're calling it his homecoming. Obviously, that mob across the water, they tennis balls and toilet roll flung on apart, and then they released a statement about an hour later. They were supposed to be with us. We were meant to be playing them. And they kind of, I think they had those are the Jokey Argyles because Big Borna Barisic was doing the toilet on the park. I think they were doing the toilet regularly on and off the park when that draw was made. Because it's bad. I mean, how would you? I mean, to be fair, I'd be shite myself in Orion because you can't even beat them in Glasgow.
I know.
So what chance have you got to beat them in Australia?
I know.
And like I say, I'm no quite clued up as to why they pulled out. As far as I know, the fans threw tennis balls and toilet roll onto a park, and then all of a sudden they released a statement. But my overall thoughts on the Sydney Cup, I think it's good for the club, Brian. I think it's good it'll be good commercially. I imagine we'll be making a few quid out of this, which is why Andrew's he's not daft. That's why he's organised this. Again, it's all down to him. You can tell this is something he's done.
Mm-hmm.
The club have just backed him on the decision. We were talking about this last week about him being at the forefront of everything that's done with the club now. This is part of it, I would imagine. And I think it'll be good for the team. I think it's going to be good for some of these boys especially a boy like Rocco Vata, the boy Scott Robertson, and the boy Bosun Lovell. I think the other three boys he mentioned are taking with him.
Is Ben Summers not gone as well? I've not seen it. But
I think he's the other one, right? I think that's the four. I don't think there's any more gone with him. Because obviously they'll still be playing. The B team will still be playing. So, but somebody was telling me, and I don't know if this is true, is a big boy Lovell too old to play with the B team now?
He's played recently, but I don't know if his companies. I don't know
because he wasn't able to play for him in the Champions League.
I don't know
I think he's coming to it because it was you that told me a while ago that Stephen Welsh now can't play for the under 21s of Scotland.
No,
right?
Can't play.
I think you get to a certain age and then you. But that big Bosun Lovell, I think he must be about 22, 23 now. So he must be hitting an age where he's getting too old to play with the B team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd imagine pretty soon, Ryan, a decision's going to have to be made on that boy, whether Ange keeps a hold of him or whether he gets loaned out for a year, 18 months, whatever it's going to be. But again, this Sydney Cup will be a chance for these boys to put themselves in a short window in terms of Ange. In terms of, right, here, I'm not far away, so don't be forgetting about me. Don't be going and signing somebody in January that's going to put me down the pecking order. You'll not need to, because here's what I can bring to the table. And that's what you want, Ryan. You want these young boys to step forward. You're hearing the boy Scott Robertson's going to be the next Bruni.
Well, apparently he's rated higher by Ange, isn't he?
So, and Ange gave him a new contract. I mean, it was one of the Champions League nights here. He came right out of left field. He was on the bench. You're like, I think it was you. In fact, it was like, what the hell's going on here? This boy's not been seen for months. All of a sudden, he's back in the team, and he's been on the bench a few times now. But he's been with the first team for a couple of months now. But I'm kind of looking forward to it. Obviously, we'll get to see it because it's been televised, isn't it, on Celtic TV. So, we'll get to see it. Obviously, as you said the other night to me and Jason, obviously we'll become the Euros because you've got that dodgy box you were talking about. So, I think we'll become the yours to watch it there enough because we don't associate ourselves with that kind of riff-raff, know what I mean? But it'll be good to see them, and it'll be good to see them on that scale. Just obviously make sure you've got me on your boxers on the next time I'm in, so that you've. I'll
wear my green Calvin Kleins.
Oh, beautiful!
Wait time, Frank. You want to come on? Oh, Frank, wait time. I'll let you know, mate, on the live stream.
Don't do that. He'll bring his cold beans that way, man. He'll bring him and Hugh Keevins will turn that with bibs on.
The wee comment for YouTube as well, mate. If you know, all right, mate. Oh, Vino. Hail to Celtic, including the subs for winning 14 or 15 league. Also, they have beaten the VAR. Come on, the hoops. You probably say the concerns of the VAR. They probably have been beaten the eye. Again, Vino, what you say is 14 or 15 games. It's not really been spoken about. You wouldn't think that's been the case. It's sort of David Rangers been 9 points, had 9 points they've lost, and no Celtic gaining the 9 points. It's David Aim been poor and no Celtic been good, and I think that's just the consensus. Scotland's IP. Celtic don't get any credit. I've said it. I know
that's it.
we won four trebles and you win, I think it.
Well, that's it. Definitely, it's well documented, isn't it? It's well stated and or understated, should I say, with some. But that's what it is, right? Like I said to you before, mate, we'll just continue being Celtic. We'll do what we need to do, and that's the only way you shut these people up, mate. Is you continue to be successful and run your club the way you run your club and operate the way you operate, and that's it. And like I said, I don't think you can then. I just find it hysterical come summertime and they're on the Clyde One Super Scoreboard and all these other forums and they all predict right away. They all just say, Rangers are going to win the league, Rangers are going to do this, Rangers are going to do that. I don't think any of them have ever got a prediction right. And they've been in football more than 30 years, some of them. But no, as I said, it's what it is, mate. Now it's becoming comedy. Now it's kind of comical for us because we can see it looking in, and we know what's what, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? It's a kind of it's just laughable. But to continue writing Celtic off is just phenomenal. Obviously, Big Ange still won that award. They've been sacked for Christmas.
But it just shows you, but they don't look at stats, they don't look at facts, they don't look at what they're seeing. It's what they think is going to happen. Like, we can all think Aberdeen will win leagues at Murn, Rangers, whatever, Celtic. But if you look at the stats, what tells you that Celtic were not going to be better this year? What tells you that Rangers were going to improve? And Rangers have not spent money in years, so what makes you think they're just going to pluck out 25, 30 million pounds at the fin to challenge Celtic? They're not going to do it. They can't afford to do it.
This is it, of course, definitely.
They've made all that, right? This is why I think some of the £5 million profit they all made out in the media, and then they put in the article at the bottom, financially 0.9 of loss. So what's the £5 million profit they made? They made another loss.
A daily loss of 10 million.
A daily loss of 10, a weekly loss of 10 million.
No, but that's him going to Lidl's and Aldi to buy all that Hartley's jam.
I saw the jam for fucking wee Gilles Mackay's fucking lunchbox, man.
Aye. Because that... See if he gets a £4 million payoff. You think he'd be buying a couple of lunchboxes to them so that he doesn't keep forgetting it? So that's how he's always quite moody in his demeanour. Because Roy Mackay can't keep up with all the animal stuff that he's been brought in for. He even buys wee animal biscuit sweeties.
Barry, they were top dollar, man. They still sell them.
Aye. Apparently, seeing the bus journeys now and they're going to away games, apparently they're all sat in Munstone the midget gems. I'm telling you.
You've got Roy Mackay at the front of the bus with his wee pop and so fucking earphones and all that.
Aye.
Oh, poor Roy Mackay getting stuck with the rafters.
Dio goes to the toilet and he's got to take his wee Pepper Pig walkie-talkies with him.
We were winning the Sydney Cup. The Bums will win the State of Kidney Cup. Let's be fair. I think the only thing Aberdeen's eating steak. I don't think they'll be burning steak off, to be honest with you.
Morelos looks like he's out about one steak anyway.
Alexander, all the talk is about Steven Gerrard going back. If Gio was sacked or Michael Beale come out as manager, according to the fans media, if Gerrard is back, happy days. He's not going to do anything because Michael Beale was the main man in my opinion, Alexander. We spoke about it for a long time on here, and me personally, even Rangers fans are starting to realise that Michael Beale was the man behind it. Gerrard was the father figure. Michael Beale just knocked
Will's back, mate. There's no danger. There's no danger he's leaving QPR anytime soon. Nobody's went publicly now on an interview saying he made all the boys a promise saying where these want to be in a year's time. We want to go to the Premier League. Right, well, let's go to the journey together because, you know, I want to go there and all.
I think in terms of, Rangers, there was talk about Wigan as well for Gerrard Alexander. I heard that as well.
Who?
Wigan, Gerrard to Wigan, I heard that as well.
What, for his holidays?
Aye, and then he's got to Brighton to get a chippy or a bit of Mr. Whippy and all.
Jesus, Johnny.
But no, again, I don't think is maybe a similar situation. I think Alexander in terms of Rodgers to us. People probably say, "Oh, Ryan, what you talking about? We've got Ange." But see, if we had, if just for donkey Ange left next year and Rodgers wanted to come back, I would probably say it. I would take him back because he's a phenomenal manager. I would take away what he done, as much as horrendous what he done, and I'm past it now. But I think Rangers fans couldn't forgive Gerrard just about yet. I think it's still too early. I don't think. For me, I think I seen his interviews even before he left. He was making doubts at the board about players. I don't think he would come back personally. I don't know Gerrard personally. I might be talking mass, but his interviews, for what I seen before he left, he was digging the board out a wee bit, but he was being clever because he's been in the game long enough. He's doing it in a certain way where he was talking about the signings. So you could be right, Alexander. Gerrard could be a guy that, because he's not got a job. I know he won't need the money, but he'll want to be involved in football some capacity. Again, do I think he'll get a top job? The new, no, he'll need to rebuild himself. Something with Lampard, I think he'll be with Everton soon, unless he turns it around big time. They'll need to rebuild themselves just because they're good players doesn't mean you'll make good managers. But no matter who they get, I don't think, even if they go Guardiola, I don't think it's good enough to change it, because I can't see us losing 45 games without the Rangers starting point stripey.
No, I agree with you, mate. I do think, that it's going to be an uphill struggle for him, regardless. If they even change managers now, then the new manager's going to have to come in and work with the same guys that are still there now. So I don't see what difference it's going to be. I know people say managers can get better out of it. How can they? How does that work? How all of a sudden do you become a good player again because a different manager's come in with new ideas? I've never got that. I've never understood that. You're a football player, you know your job, you know what you're there to do. It's the fans you play for. It's no, in my opinion, it's no a manager you play for. You play for yourself, your family, and you play for your fans. The guys that pay your wages. You don't.
Yeah.
You're in a luxury position. Boys like us and guys younger than us, they give arms and legs, right, to be in the same position as some of these dudes.
Yep.
And when you see a guy deliberately no trying, aka John Lundstrom, when he went against St Johnstone, he just keys in. That's unacceptable, mate. That is unacceptable. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you play fives, amateur, junior, whatever you play. To me, that is unacceptable. And it would take a very, very long time for me to trust you. And for me to bring you bring you back in amongst the group. Because you would need to go some in terms of working hard and showing me your genuine interest and devotion for what the club mean and where we are, what we're trying to do. Now, like I said earlier on, they can't have an objection because they've all got an identity, first and foremost. So the objection can't be there. The objection must be just to get through the emotions, because that's what the objection's been all season. We've been through the emotions and they're now finding themselves wanting. They're being found wanting because they've got guys in their team, some guys in their team that's reached the end of their cycle as a team, and guys have reached the end of their shelf life within that squad and team. The team needs a huge freshening up.
Yep.
But again, I'm not really going to talk about them much more because this obviously isn't their podcast, it's about us. So,
aye, but it's interesting, but because I think it'll be for a few weeks, mate. I think it'll be a relentless few weeks for Rangers in terms of the board and everything else. But for us, I think we've got a Sunday Cup, obviously, to look forward to. I do believe that we're in a very good place at the moment, mate, in terms of the squad and obviously the Sydney Cup. Again, it'll be interesting how he plays and who he plays to start the games, because some guys might not even feature. Some guys might just be training. Some guys might just get a total rest. You might see By Seagrass playing a bit more. The 2 to 3 games, it's in the 2 games, 3 games in the competition. So guys haven't
There's
really
2
seen the
games
ball.
in it. It's Sydney and Thursday,
Aye,
and then it's Everton next Sunday.
Aye. So I don't think there'll be. I think this is where you maybe make your changes and actually experiment with the team. You play 2 up front or 3 up front or change the system a bit. So I'm looking forward to it, mate, to see how it all pans out and what Ange does do, if he changes the system or does he try something or does he try players. So like you says, guys like what's his name? Big Abelgard's not really kicked the ball. He might play 2 of the games, guys like that. So it'll be interesting to see who features, especially the as you say the young boys if they'll play 90 minutes or get a good bit of game time.
Definitely, mate. I'm kind of intrigued to see what happens actually in terms of like who plays, when they play, etc. What kind of teams he's going to pick. I'd imagine he'll use his squad rank because they're all there. And it's a long travel, mate, to just take guys and no play them, no give them game time. I would imagine he'll give guys that, boys like Matt O'Reilly, and I know they're going there to train and they're going there to be represented, but I'd imagine he'll give the squad minutes. He'll probably play his first team 45 minutes, then he'll change it for the second 45. And he'll do it early the couple of games. You'll probably see Big Abelgard that start the game and maybe no finish, and he must be ready to play. I mean, I know he never done much to anything in terms of pre-season, etc. But I think he should be ready to play on this. If he's not in of asking questions as to why, either that or is he rated by the manager? Because then things like that start keeping in as well. As his fans will start chatting and maybe the manager doesn't fancy you, or was a work right, or the manager might not fancy him. But little do we know, obviously, through talking to a few people now, we've kind of got an inside bit of knowledge that in terms of that's just know how it works sometimes. Sometimes it's just mainly down to the fact that your squad's playing that well. You just can't get a game. Look at Idaguchi. There's another one. It's not really had a lot of game time because of how good and how in terms of the quality of the squad. But as I say, mate, we'll just need to wait and see. But I'd imagine part of the biggest part of the squad will be used. You've got a couple of games today. You can play 45 and 45, and that's one team, and then change it again for the second game. So as I say, but then you've got Giacomakis and Kyogo there and all, so it's not of interest. You've got Abada, you've got Jota, you've got Haskabanovic, they're all there. Do you know what I mean? So it's not as if we'll get a chance to see them.
Aye, definitely. Obviously, it'd be good for the Shields to obviously see some of the heroes up front as well. Obviously, a lot of them can't go over here. So that'll be good for them as well. Obviously, Everton, I know, again, it's all about us, but it'll be good for them to see Everton as well. It'll be good for me to see some of Everton players. I don't really see them often enough as well. Yep. So, again, I don't know if that's maybe a wee scout mission for Ange, maybe players that might know being Everton plans and the season, set them up. I don't know. It could be, listen, these things could happen. I don't know. Somebody could play well and Ange likes them. And
he did say he would use a break for the World Cup to do his scouting mission for the summer because he's already done his January business. So, which is interesting.
But I do agree, mate, that I think it'll be good for the club. It's good for the players and the manager. But all in JP over the last few days, and what's your overall thoughts, mate? And obviously leading into the break.
Hi, I'm really happy, mate. As I said, I think we finished really well. In terms of unbeaten home record still there as well. So I'm really happy with that. And I think we've went into the break now with good momentum. We're 9 points clear at the top of the league. We're still in the semi-final with one of the cups. We've still got another cup to play in, so we're in a good place, mate. I know it can all change in the blink of an eye, but do I see it changing anytime soon? No, I don't. I can see it getting really stronger. I think what teams need to know and all is when we come back for this break, this is going to be like a mini pre-season for some of your guys. So they're going to be re-energised. McGregor's going to be back. You then get that added quality. You then tempo goes right up because he's like Rolls Royce stuff, man. He just takes us to another gear. And I think it's going to be hard for teams when we come back. I think I think now, Ryan, what I did say to you, and I said it to you a couple of weeks ago, mate, is when we drop out the Champions League, I think now it'll be fits to the flare and let's try and get the league one as quick as we can. And I think that might be the message to the players. I'll let you say that, Sean, because it's a hard thing to do, mate, regardless of what. But we were going for 10 in a row. We were out of both cups before them across the water and they still couldn't win the treble. And that was them supposed to be shit hot. So, but yeah, again, who am I to say anything, you know, like, I just get shot down if I say anything bad about that. But in terms of us, Ryan, I think it'll just be fixed to the flare. But fans are already talking about trebles and, you know, what I will say is I think with our squad is anything is possible. And I wouldn't say anything's impossible in football. We've not got Europe to worry about now, so that's not going to hang out as coming back. So we've not got the added games. Now we're going to have, there will be weeks again now where we're going to have a full week to prepare in terms of games, because the games aren't going to be like fucking Saturday, Wednesday, and Saturday. It's not going to be like that now. There'll be games, but there'll be weeks where we've got a full 7-8 days to prepare for games. And that's going to kill teams, I think, that come up against us, because a lot of teams have got injuries in their squads, whereas with him rotating the squad, it's worked in our benefit more than it's worked in our benefit more than it's worked against us. Just seeing your comment there again, Sean, VAR will decide. Again, mate, I think we play a type of football that we just take the game away from teams, and we'll also take the game away from VAR like we did at the weekend. We were 1-0 down because of VAR, and we found a way in it. We've got so many answers with this team, Sean. A lot of firepower, a lot of answers, a lot of different variety in the team. All our wingers aren't the same type of player either. But they're so creative in their own way. We've got guys with a killer instinct straight away that can sniff goals out of nothing. If you look back at the Dundee United game last week, they get the equaliser. Then we got the part and Kyogo's just typical striker in a good position. But that again is what you bring your big players off the bench for. They come on and make impacts. It happened at the weekend again. We kept the ball. Giakoumakis a couple of chances. He was unlucky not to go on the score sheet. Again, you're big players, but when it comes to Christmas, guys, and it gets to after Christmas, we hit January, that's what I call the business end of the season. And I'm afraid it's a true saying, and what to say is, cream always rises. And that's when all your big players all step up to the mark. Guys like Kyogo, Abada, Jota, Hasabanowicz, your Hatatis, your O'Reillys, McGregors, they'll all start coming to the fore, and you start winning games more comfortably, because you know the new at this side of the season you can get away with maybe not playing at your peak. The way Ange trains this team and the way he's coached this team is when we get by Christmas and New Year, the team will be prepared to go at it more, because that's the training, that's the way he's built the team. So in a sense, what it means is we'll start to peak when we hit January, February properly, and then it'll be a case of taking everything away for the rest of the league. We've already got ourselves a 9-point lead. It could be more had we not lost the game to St Mirren. But we lost that day. Are we going to lose another 3-4 games? But it needs to happen quickly in order for that mob across the water to have any lifeline. That ain't happening. We've only lost one game in 14 months in the league. So if anybody sat here in the now thinks that we're going to lose 3 to 4, possibly even 5 games between now and the end of the season, then turn your PlayStation off for now, because it just isn't happening. In my opinion, it's just not happening. This team,
if it's going to happen, JP, it would be one of the biggest come downs ever.
It'd be an avalanche. It'd be a total avalanche. It'd be a total fucking disaster. But it's just not happening. The managers, the makeup of this team, it's just not happening. We've got a will to win, and they've got that killer instinct in them as well. We were a goal down at the weekend, not for the first time this season, and I know for the first time under Ange, we have, like I says, we have so much firepower now in my team coming from all over the pitch. That is frightening. And it must be scary for other teams as well, because like you said yourself, you're bringing these subs off, you're bringing them on, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, you're looking across in the tunnel and teams must be going like, oh, for fuck's sake, look who's playing today. And that's the way it must go here domestically. But I'm not wanting to take up too much more of your time, Ryan. I know you're obviously busy tonight, mate. So
no, I'm alright, mate. It's all good, man.
But what I want to say is thanks for everybody who's commented, thanks for everybody who's listening into the show. If you continue liking the show and everything else, please, if you've not already done so, click the wee subscribe button on YouTube for us on my channel. That'll give you a notification when and if the page goes live. Myself and Ryan are on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The page is on TikTok as well. For anybody who doesn't know how to subscribe, if you've possibly never done it before, all you have to do is set up a wee Google account for yourself, which requires you to set up an email address and a password that obviously you as an individual would remember. That's all you have to do to log in and basically click the wee bell, which is a subscribe button. And you'll continue to get to see my big smiley face and Ryan's smiley face and all our jokes about Oxo and Peppa Pig and everything else. We'll just continue as we're the same as Celtic that way. We just never stop. Anything you want to say, Ryan? I feel as if I'm stealing your thunder here, mate.
No, I agree. Again, thanks for the introduction tonight. Again, anything you want to talk about, we obviously will speak. Obviously, like JP says, we don't stop. I know Celtic are on a wee break, but we're only going to be stopping. We'll have some guest appearances coming up as well soon. So keep your eyes on the YouTube and the Facebook and the Twitter for announcements. We'll announce tomorrow the first guest of the week. So keep your eyes peeled. It's quite a good guest as well. So I'm sure it'll be good for the fans to listen to. But again, JP, it's been good to see your smiley face.
I promise you next time as well, you see me, I won't have a rug on my face either. I
don't suit the black carpet look, mate, so I need a wee shave. But I'm -9, mate, so I'm going to make a cup of tea and toast and get to my bed, mate. But
I'm the same, mate. It's getting a wee bit chilly now. I've been sitting here for so long, so I'm actually going to go and get my wee Superman hot water bottle, and it's got Superman on the front of it and a photo of Giovanni Van Bronckhorst on the back of it. And
see, me felt by the man to be man, likes it, didn't he? Loves it.
And I managed to go onto Amazon to get the Power Ranger slippers that he uses as part of his attire to walk about his big giant flat. So
Hail, Sean.
So we just going to
hot beans. Hot beans as well, Frank.
Yeah, definitely, Frank. You better heat the beans up, mate. -9. It's going to be for chilly, mate. Definitely. But listen, everybody that's decided to join in tonight, I'm really grateful for it. I really appreciate all the comments. Loving the banter as well, that's coming in through the comments. Frank, don't know about letting you take care of the jokes, mate. I've got a few myself, so I think the next time I'll be a bit more armed for you and a bit more of the snappiness for my comebacks, definitely. But I'll let that one you said earlier slide as well. But we'll maybe need to talk to the editor and see if it's allowed for the next time. See the comments getting kicked off shortly. But let us know if you manage to get any beans heated up, Frank, the next time. And everybody, it was lovely chatting to you again. Same as you, Ryan.
No, it's been good, mate. But definitely again, what's that, mate?
I'm just saying, I'm looking forward to the Sydney Cup.
But good, mate. And obviously, the next guest will be on that, guys. That's just the most we can say. But we'll get it announced tomorrow and look forward to that. To hopefully,
you just make sure you get an extra cup out for the boys coming into for that dodgy box of yours.
And we'll end it there. Thanks for listening, guys. Hail, JT. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Hail.